Today, we are diving into a conversation that has been making the rounds on social media. Why are marriage rates in America collapsing? And more specifically, why are the men saying they are done with marriage? I came across a video where a man laid it all out. He called it the masterclass in why American men have stopped marrying American women. His argument is not about fear of commitment, it's about rebellion. He said, modern women have abandoned femininity, embraced competition, rejected submission, and turned marriage into a transaction rather than a covenant. And for that reason, he said, men have checked out. It's a hot take, no doubt. And today, we are going to unpack it piece by piece. But we are not yet to take sides. We are yet to ask the hard questions, hold biblical truths up to the light, and see where the Spirit might be speaking. So grab your coffee or journal because we are going deep on this one. Let's start by laying out the man's core claims because context matters. He said women have abandoned femininity, the soft power that supposedly draws men into leadership, protection, and provision. He claims women have been taught to act like men, to compete and to fight, and now they are confused when men don't want to marry them. He says modern women sees submission as a conditional trade deal. If you give me what I want, then I will respect you. And he argues that this mindset makes men see marriage as a bad investment. He says, men don't want to fight their wives in their own homes. They don't want to sponsor a lifestyle. They want to lead a family. Pretty heavy stuff. But let's be honest, there are pieces of this that resonate. Yes, some women have approached marriage with a transactional mindset. Yes, some women have been hurt and they have built a wall around themselves, choosing independence over intimacy. And yes, submission has become a dirty word, often because of how it has been weaponized and abused. But let's slow down, because here is where I think his argument starts to crumble. He's treating femininity as if it is one thing: softness, quietness, submission. And he's looking at competition as if it's always a bad thing. And he's also putting the blame on the collapse of marriages solely on women without asking, what did the men do to contribute to this mess? Let's get biblical for a second. Ephesians 5 verse 22 says, wives, submit to your husbands as unto the Lord. But let's not stop there. Verse 25 says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So this isn't about a one-sided power dynamic. It's about mutual service. It's about a man laying down his life and a woman responding with trust, respect, and partnership. And let me say this clearly. Submission is not slavery, but it is also not blind obedience. It is something that grows in a relationship when both partners are under God's authority. Let's be real. It's easy to say women are the problem, but men have also abandoned responsibility. The hookup culture has damaged both sides. Economic stress, individualism, and social media have twisted our expectations of love. And honestly, a lot of men don't want to lead. They want to be served. It's not about women rejecting femininity. It's about both men and women rejecting sacrifice, accountability, and God's design for love. Let's sit with some questions. Is the problem really that women have abandoned femininity? Or is it that we never truly understood what true biblical femininity is? Can we build marriages where men lead in love and women follow in trust, but also co-lead in vision and purpose? Have men created a culture where submission feels unsafe? And are we, both men and women, trying to get the benefits of marriage without the responsibilities? Here is where I land. Yes, submission is real. Yes, femininity is a gift. But women are not the only problem. And men are not entitled to leadership just because they are men. Marriage is not a transaction. Marriage is not a sponsorship. It is a covenant. And if we are not willing to die to self, both of us, it is not going to work. Let's stop arguing or fighting about what the problem is. Let's start asking, am I living in a way that builds a home where God's order, love, and grace can flourish? That is the real question. If this episode stirred something in you, then please share or leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. This is Authors and Agendas, where we hold the sacred tensions of faith and culture. See you next time.